What is up? How's everyone doing? Today I'm going to be talking about the updated horsepower on my website, mjinformatics.com, how to use it, and what problems I think it solves in order to help you race better in Photo Finish Live. Before we get started on how to use the tool, the horse we're going to be looking at in the example today is Roman Emperor. Roman Emperor is having a great season so far. Has done very well with 137,000 Derby earnings. Has competed in Grade 2, Grade 1, Grade 3, and a lot of stakes races. If we scroll over and we look at the charts, you can see that this horse has its best win rate at 10 furlongs, has podiumed at 11, and is also won and podiumed at 12. If we go down to the race comparison plots here, we see that some of its best races have been on good, fast, and even yielding tracks. All right, so keep this in mind when we look at the horse on horsepower. So again, you can great tools, great information here on the Photo Finish site. Horsepower really tries to give you all this information a lot easier and at a glance. So if we go over to mjinformatics.com, mouse over Photo Finish Live, click horsepower, type in the name. And if it's the first load, it may take a minute to fetch, but then once it does, subsequent fetches will be a lot faster. Once the horse loads, you'll see the picture of the horse, the name, gender, age, grade, as well as all of its stars. I can also click this link to view it on Photo Finish Live, which will open in a new tab. And here we have kind of like the big key core components of horsepower. You have your horsepower gauge and then your performance data card. So I'm going to start with the horsepower card. And why I created this was to solve people that were trying to push their horses to race up in race types that were just not good or would not be well suited for that horse. Now, so think of this as kind of a speed limit if we're going with the kind of power speed gauge theme here on where you should run and where you should run comfortably. It does not mean you can't race higher. In some cases, you will be able to. But if you are struggling, refer to this gauge and use this as a guide and maybe dial things back a bit. You'll notice here that it is at 55. The scale is 0 to 100. So that says, hey, this is a stakes racer, but you're on kind of the upper end of stakes. The position within the pie slice is also kind of important. This to me says, hey, not only are we running stakes, but you've probably also had some success in the graded races as well. And then if we look here, it says, hey, 10 furlongs looks like a great distance. Also consider 11 and 12. And in terms of conditions, consider good, but also look at fast and yielding. And you'll notice the number of starts here. So how does this gauge work? How is it built? Well, it looks at both your win rate, podium rate, average times, fleet figures, earnings per start, average race tier, horse grade, and it kind of combines and matches all those up and it creates this scale. So for example, a D- horse probably won't be hitting the upper 70s and 80s to be a grade 1 racer. So it kind of puts everything into a perspective. Now, it then also looks at the specific distances. So it's not going to take in everything into account. So if this is a horse that specializes at the long distances, 10, 11, 12, and you've also run maybe 4 and 5 to test out where you think this horse could be productive in its early, stages, first few races, just to see, hey, maybe this could be a sprinter. Turns out it wasn't a sprinter. Horsepower is going to ignore that. Okay, it's going to look purely right now at 10 and at good. As you get more starts, the number is going to change in both conditions, and also the recommendation can change as well. So it really just depends on the number of races. But looking at this, the big determination is stakes looks pretty safe, and 10 furlongs looking at these longer distances, and then good fast yielding. If I'm not racing currently in these areas, I need to reconsider my racing strategy and maybe start here and see how things go. Okay, so that's horsepower. Then performance data over here. I love this because this is the quick at a glance, how is this horse doing? So you can see the stable, click the link to visit the stable, number of starts, your podium distribution here, highest tier raced and proven. So this horse has raced up to a grade 1. This horse has also won a grade 1. So that's something to keep in mind, something good to know. Consider this maybe where your ceiling could be, but you might not have consistency there. That's why horsepower comes in. It kind of brings you back down to reality. Recent form. So if we mouse over, you're going to see nothing here because it did not win. This is a win. Green is win, yellow is place, and blue is show. So you kind of get your last 5 races right here. Nice visual. Looking at win and podium rate. Again, this is color coded, so I know that this is a strong winner and podium horse. Average fleet figure and trend. So we're just at 83, and best fleet figure was an 86. Total earnings per start. Last 28% of total. So this looks at the last 28 days. What percent of Derby 1 came then? We see this is 93. Why this is important is because it will say, hey, this horse is still in its prime. It is still running well. If this was a much lower number, I'd say, hey, this horse might be aged out. This card overall, you can see the biggest prize down here. This card overall is really, really good if you're trying to claim horses. Because I go right here and I'm looking for green, yellow, red, right? Win podium. Are those both green? And last 28, is that green? Then, hey, this horse can still run. It is performing to what level? You know, that's to be determined. But hey, it's still racing well, just looking for 3 green bubbles right here. We scroll down a little bit, you're going to see now the estimated attributes section. So what this does is this takes you mouse over it, it's a pedigree hint inferred from the available sire and dam details when there is enough data. So it's going to, if you click to expand it, you can see here's the sire, the dam, and then the predictions. Again, this is just a split down the middle. So if you have not raced a horse or you're unsure of where to start with the horse, use this as a potential starting point. So here you could say, hey, you know, there could be some starts, but there could definitely also be some stamina and finish, stronger likelihood there. This might be more of a long distance horse. So that's what this tells you. And again, it's all summarized here without you clicking anything. This is after kind of the top 2 sections. This is my second favorite part of the whole page because this breaks down both the distance and the track type, and it tells you how you've done there. So if I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, maybe do I do 10, 11, 10, 12, good, fast yielding? I'm unsure. Come down here. Boom, 10 fast, ran twice. Here's your average time, your average fleet figure, your %1, podium, and your Derby per start. Oh, 12 fast, 5 starts. We see 40% win, but 100% podium. Wow, that's awesome. 10 good. Wow, 6 races. There's my time, fleet figure, 33 win. Okay, not as good. And 67% podium, but great Derby per start. So what I can see here is, wow, this horse, looking at the green, fast and good, which matches up here. And we have 10 and 12. There's an 11 right here, still profitable, but it did not win there. So that's why that's probably not green. There are some different factors into what determines green. It looks at your Derby per start, your podium, your win rate, to try and give you strong recommendations. And this is only across one race. Now, if I raced more at 11 fast, this could very much turn into green, and it could change the chart up here too. So again, here's a good starting point, and you still see you have options. If we look at performance by distance, you have 10, 12, and 11. 10 highlighted because of the strong Derby per start, 63% podium, 37 win, strongest win rate as well. Performance by condition, fast, good, yielding. Again, strongest win rate, strongest podium, up there with the average fleet figure, and pretty strong Derby per start. And then finally, your race history. So if you want to just kind of click through, scroll through all of the races, you can see the earnings, fleet figure position, distance, direction, condition, surface, and class. So again, start at the top, use this as your guide. Look for 3 greens, especially if you're claiming. This is huge. Makes your claiming a lot easier. And then here, boom, your finalized race recommendations. And then if you don't have a lot of races here, get more data. The more data you get, the more accurate this becomes, the better guide it becomes for you. Happy racing.